Welcome back to the Stache Club Wrestling Podcast. My name is John.
My name is Dante.
Woo, we got a hot one out there. We're in the middle of a heat wave.
It's a heat wave right now.
So I'm going to apologize beforehand. We turned the ceiling fan off. We got the AC running.
Yeah, we need it.
So we need it.
We'd be dying.
This wouldn't happen without it. So
this episode is sponsored by John's Air Conditioning.
Yeah, so hopefully...
that doesn't affect the audio too much, but if it does, apologies.
Usually I take out, this is a technical thing, but I take out some of the low end. So then hopefully the AC is in there,
See,
you know?
That's a very tech-savvy move right there.
So we got a big show. We're going to be talking about Clash at the Castle. We're talking about some, it was eventful stuff happened.
Some eventful stuff happened.
Raw and NXT.
Big episodes.
I'm sitting here a little sunburnt too. So mine, I got a little, here and there.
I see. The inside.
I was using a lot of sunscreen.
You need to.
Went to the beach yesterday.
I have very fair. Oh, did you go to the beach?
Oh yeah. We'll talk about it on the Patreon.
Oh yeah, we gotta save that stuff.
And with that said, patreon.com/Stache Club Wrestling if you want this episode ad free as well as a full other bonus episode. But this is today's free episode. We're gonna be chatting. We got some stuff on the talk for the Patreon. What do we got? I mean, the Celtics. Come on,
Celtics.
We got
Celtics
Hendry.
5. Come on. What are we
I went to an indie show this weekend. I went to the beach. We there's a lot of stuff. We got some Patreon questions. Yeah. So if you're interested in that, patreon.com/Stache Club Wrestling.
And if you're interested in basketball,
there you go.
Check out Sitting Courtside, my basketball podcast with my good friend Jerry, where he talked about the Celtics on this week's episode. It's what made me think of it. Celtics new NBA champion. So check it out there. Sitting Courtside on YouTube, TikTok, all that stuff. Subscribe. I appreciate the support.
Huge. Yeah. You must be riding a high.
I had a cigar in my mouth. We recorded yesterday. I had my sunglasses on. We ordered. Me and Taylor ordered the championship gear.
Oh,
from
did you?
Online.
Hell yeah.
She got same day delivery, and I didn't for some reason. I ordered mine like an hour after her, so I was like, I don't understand how you got it, but I didn't. But it's coming in today, so I'll have it for the parade tomorrow.
I thought the hat was sick. Hat looked cool.
Big time. The one thing I didn't order, actually.
No, you didn't get the hat? That's funny.
I don't know. I just don't know, how often. I already have a Celtics hat, so I was like, I don't know how often I wear it. I mean, it'll always be on the site, so maybe one day I'll get it.
I will say, in the picture I saw you, not a whole lot of green on you for being
I really don't have a ton of
some green.
I know.
Well, now you're gonna have some. What color is the shirt?
Green. Black. But I also got a white one. I also got a white one and a sweatshirt. So
you got the whole
have
shebang.
Some green shirt. Taylor took my one green Celtic shirt.
You don't have a jersey?
Monday. I do, but I'm not a big jersey wearer.
Yeah, I don't like.
Yeah, I'm just that's not my style.
Okay, all right.
I more collect them than wear them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm also not a big jersey person.
Wrestling.
We got a lot. We're starting off with the most fun. Well, fun, subjective. Joe Hendry. Say his name and he appears.
He appears. I believe in Joe Hendry. Bro, that video, the fucking hard cam shook like crazy, dude, when his music
that place
hit.
exploded.
Woo! I mean, they've been teasing it for like a week or two. Pat McAfee said it on Raw. On NXT the night after that, they made some sort of we believe, say his name. There were signs in the crowd that said, we believe in Joe Hendry.
Even like Cody hinting at it. It was like, this is the lightest hint of him being like other locker rooms.
100%. And you did have Kazarian was there as well, who's in TNA, which was a sick, that was a sick appearance as well. But man, it was just they knew the people wanted it. They made it happen, and he got eliminated almost immediately from the match.
Yeah,
but
people were bullshit.
They were chanting bullshit.
Yeah, people were pissed.
He did a backstage thing with Shawn Michaels where he was like, I can show up on any promotion and they'll say my name, whatever. So that makes me feel good.
He did emphasize, he was like, he said, any show I can appear.
That makes me feel very good thinking that he could show up on a Raw or SmackDown or something like that. And
they are absolutely going to buy him out of his TNA contract. They're going to get him
he's so
quick.
He's so popular.
Yeah.
He's so popular. His theme song is sick.
Yeah.
It was like a top 10 on iTunes charts for a while. I think they were pushing for number one. I don't think it reached it.
It had a huge moment on TikTok. I think that's what really pushed it.
One of my best friends, Matt, would always send me his videos and being like, I don't really follow TNA or anything outside of WWE much, but this guy is awesome. And I was like, he really is. Yeah, he's great. Super happy he got an appearance in NXT.
I mean, and like I said, even just judging by that fucking pop he got.
I think that alone like justifies them being like,
he's perfect for NXT, you know, and like, I mean, main roster included, but like he'll be perfect. Like, do 8 months in NXT, boom,
this
call
next
up.
wave of NXT now, like they just had the call ups and stuff, like just all the new guys coming in the new
He'd be
era.
perfect. He really would.
He would. So yeah, very cool. Hopefully we see him again soon.
I get like you gang up on the outsider, you throw him off. I do wish we saw a little bit, right? You know, a little bit more.
Yeah,
of him,
I mean,
you know?
I understand it kind of plays because Kazarian eliminated him, which plays into because they have a story going on in TNA, so like that kind of makes sense. It all makes sense.
Yeah.
It just would have been like, man, I wish we got a little bit more Joe Hendry, but it's all right. That's okay. We got the moment.
We're definitely gonna see him again,
big time.
Whether it's, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. Isn't there? Do they have a show coming up?
They do. I don't think it's there
because we already saw Tatum Paxley show up. That might have been a few weeks ago, but Tatum Paxley showed up to confront Jordan Grace.
Yes.
So we're doing some back and forth here, which is nice.
I don't think it's Slammiversary. I think that's. Oh, this is not what I'm looking for.
God, I haven't heard Slammiversary in
Actually,
forever.
it might be. Oh yeah, I think it's July 20th. That's July 20th. They have a Oh no, that's just Impact. Okay, so it might be Slammiversary then.
Wow,
yeah,
and that's their WrestleMania.
Yeah, that's their biggest event for
Interesting.
Sure. Yeah. Oh my God, they don't.
That'd be worth watching. That's probably gonna be sick.
Victory Road is another big one, but yeah, Slammiversary is their big event.
Wow.
Yeah, but we'll see what happens. Shout out Joe Hendry. We believe.
All right, I guess we can move on then. I guess I didn't have much more about Joe Hendry then. That was sick.
I'm happy he got a little promo at the beginning too.
Oh yeah,
came out with the mic and he was talking about and stuff like that.
He's a big boy.
He's like,
you don't really realize how huge he is.
250. Yeah. Like he genuinely is a big dude.
I need to catch up. Like I'm pretty caught up on like the lore and like the character stuff, but like in terms of in-ring stuff, I'm pretty green to it. You know, I gotta.
No, he's solid.
I gotta catch up on some.
He's solid.
On some in-ring stuff. But before we get to Clash at the Castle, pure moments before the Boston Celtics won the 2024 NBA championship, another monumental moment happened.
Yeah, dude.
Uncle Howdy shows up alongside with the Wyatt Sicks. They make their re-debut on Raw. This was fucking sick. This was awesome.
I am admittedly going to say this, guys. The Boston Celtics did play this night. I didn't watch a lick of Monday Night Raw. I caught up with it when I was drunk on my couch at 2 a.m. the next morning.
I was doing the flip. I was flipping back and forth until Uncle Howdy started. I locked in for Uncle Howdy. That finished. Then I watched the rest of it.
That was the first thing that I saw because I saw so many people were tweeting at me like congrats on the Celtics. Watch Uncle Howdy. What are your thoughts on Uncle Howdy? Dante, we need your. I'm like, give me some fucking time here.
It'll be on the pod.
The presentation, the camera cuts, just the fucking
how they made it so cinematic looking while being live and just
going backstage in the smoke and seeing the people on the ground and all the different characters.
So we'll do a little play by play. Boom, the Fiend's music plays. You get that class like the like thing shutting down, whatever.
The door was there.
The door, and then who was later to learn to be Nikki Cross comes crawling out very much like that. Whatever that fuck that movie is.
Coming out of the well. They did a scary movie. I think it's a scary movie when The Ring?
I think it is The Ring.
Is it The Ring? Correct me if I'm wrong.
Good pull.
I think it's The Ring.
She comes crawling out with the lantern, and then the camera starts to follow backstage.
She points back.
And then you see all these different, you see a couple characters. I think one of the first characters you saw was a tall man who I believe was later learned to be Eric Rowan. He's got the hammer, very, very, very similar to a Bludgeon Brothers hammer, which I thought was a nice touch.
A little Easter egg. So when they shot the camera, it was like his back was towards us and he turned around. The back side of his mask was Luke Harper's old mask from the Bludgeon Brothers.
Cool. Nice.
So nice little tribute Easter egg right there that someone pointed out on Twitter.
And it's going all through, and you see the other members. We'll talk about who the other members are, but you see the other members, and you see, just like you were saying, bodies scattered around. I think there was a Carmelo Hayes I saw on the ground. There's a few other people, as long as staff.
So people were like pointing out like that's Carmelo. people were saying Gunther or Ludwig
I saw
or
Gunther,
something.
yeah.
Carmelo tweeted that he's like, no, that wasn't me. So I don't know. I think a lot of them just looked. Someone said Seth Rollins was there. It could have been, and then maybe he's just like playing it off,
maybe
whatever.
not then.
But
I just kind of went bait. I just said that based on
so
what
it
people
did
tweeted.
look just like him. But I saw the only reason why I say this because he did.
That had to be
he
Gunther. That was
replied to
definitely
someone.
Gunther.
Or
maybe, I don't know.
I'm thinking like because the theme of it's like Chad Gable abusive to his family. Gunther kicked out Vinci. Carmelo turned on Trick Williams. Like all that like makes sense. I just don't know if it because they didn't put as much emphasis on them as they did Chad Gable. You know what I mean?
Interesting.
I don't know that. I don't know.
interesting.
But
either way,
regardless.
backstage people beat up, and then you see the pan of Chad Gable. Looks like
Look, he got shot in the head. No, he had a bullet hole in his head. They literally just took a pistol and just shot him in the head.
He's just sitting there with blood dripping down.
Great selling.
I think you got tweeted the same stuff, but I guess like people it's fixed now, but people edited his Wikipedia page to say that he was dead.
Yeah, Chad Gable dead by gunshot by Uncle Howdy.
And then they passed by the final member, and the final shot of not the final shot, but like the final character of Uncle Howdy with his arms spread.
With the light from behind, dude.
Seems like a little bit of a different mask, like a little bit tweaked for sure. And then we follow them out back to the arena. They come out in that final fucking pose with the 5 of them, which we're going to talk about the number and the 5 and what that could mean. But in terms of just presentation alone, it was one of the coolest. I will call it a debut for whatever, but one of the coolest debuts, re-debuts, whatever you want to call it, I've seen in a long time.
It was just, I think it's the most liked or like most viewed social media thing since WrestleMania for them. I saw there was like a chart. It was like that, and the second was Joe Hendry. Believe it or not.
Oh, funny. Okay.
But dude, it's just. I get it. And this is kind of like similar to like how Bray Wyatt was. It's like a slow build up and people like starting to get impatient and kudos to WWE and Uncle Howdy and all them for like playing into it and be like, your impatience
Love
is like
that.
this and that. Like
did that.
really, really playing into it. Dude, just it was worth it because there was just so many like,
sorry, not to interrupt.
No, you're good.
WWE's most viewed video clips on their official Twitter post WrestleMania XL. Number 1, Uncle Howdy's arrival. Number 2 with 8.4 milli. 2 is Joe Hendry arrival, 7.1. That's crazy. Yeah, good for Joe Hendry.
Jump.
And then number 3, Liv Morgan kisses Dom at 5.3. Wow, yeah, that's crazy. Good for Joe.
Good for Joe. I think just the way they played it out, they're like saying it's gonna be a massacre, it's gonna be this and that. No one knew if it was like, are they going to come out like to the ring, attack someone? Is it going to be like a one at a time thing? Is it like they're all going to debut at the same time? We didn't know.
I think they nailed
from the second that the lights went out to the closing shot. Those outfits, bro,
they look good.
Terrifying.
Yeah,
and
they
like
look good.
Someone did a comparison. It was when Bray Wyatt initially returned. And remember, it was at Extreme Rules, and they had like them in the crowd. It was like the pig in the crowd.
Yeah. And they spotlighted each and every one of them.
If you look at a side by side of those costumes versus these costumes,
and those ones I never thought
they weren't terrible,
inherently bad,
because they were meant to be like puppets and stuff, right? But like this is more meant to be like these are the characters. Like this is like meant to be a horror movie. Like it's very scary and. They nailed it. I don't think I have a bad thing to say about it.
No, I really don't.
Worth the wait.
The really final moment where he's got the lantern and just we're here blows up. Which this
the timing was off slightly.
That's just once they moved to the I guess electric one because he used to have like an actual fire one, you know, and you blow it out and it works. But
the timing is.
I'm not even blaming the timing. I think that's just like what you get with using electric.
When Bray did it when he returned, the timing was like this one I don't mind as much because Bray's was like so off, like by a full
but it's just because like it is. I get why they don't have actual fire, but it's like it
would make it a little bit better.
And blowing out a light bulb doesn't really click with me either. You know?
No, I agree.
That's just it's a nitpicky thing.
Uncle Howdy also. So like the Fiend would have the gloves and it said hurt and heal on both of them. In this case, Uncle Howdy only had one saying on his hand. It said Bray.
Oh, sick.
So cool. Yeah, it was.
Sick.
I think it was his right. So it said Bray on this one and then nothing on this one.
He's not here to heal.
No. He is here to fuck shit up. Yeah, dude. I mean,
it was awesome.
It was great.
It was
I
so
probably
good.
watched it I watched the first time, and again, I had a few
2 a.m. and you're drunk.
I had
You're
a
just
few
like,
drinks. And I was like,
"Holy
oh, pretty scary. I watched it a few more times, like the next day, and yeah, I mean, I think this is going to be a very, very, very cool tribute to Bray. Like his imagination still coming to life, and judging by the first introduction, I think they're going to do him justice. They're going to do him well.
Yeah,
At
no,
least
this
that's
is
the hope.
yeah. So far, so great. This is. I'm really excited. And I think within the next weeks, we're gonna kind of see. I still think it's gonna be a little bit till we see anyone in ring.
I think they're going to do a lot of vignettes and stuff like that, like some backstage stuff.
My guess, they do vignettes, some backstage stuff, and then maybe 1 week Eric Rowan interrupts some match,
Sure.
and I think they'll slowly start to invade and take over
Is
Raw.
Chad Gable dead?
Is Chad
We'll
Gable
find
dead?
out on Raw.
Yeah, I'm really curious to see how they're gonna play
They
that.
also had, and again, these are all things I was seeing on Twitter afterwards. They had like when Chad Gable was in the locker room, there was the bunny was in the back, on the locker and stuff. There's another instance. I think the pig. Huskus the pig was somewhere, but they were doing a little Easter egg. I think we'll be seeing a lot of shit like that. Yeah, I don't know when we'll get in-ring stuff.
I think it'll be.
It definitely seems like this is more of a character. They'll have one. They're not going to wrestle every week. It'll be pay-per-view stuff. You know what I mean?
I wouldn't be surprised if we get something by SummerSlam.
That would make
kind of a
sense.
big event.
I mean, that is 2 months away too. So I feel like we have enough time to build it up.
The confirmed members are Nikki Cross, Eric Rowan, Dexter Loomis, Joe Gacy, and then obviously Bo as Uncle Howdy.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah,
cool stuff.
Cool group. They're called the Wyatt Sicks. Spell Sicks.
Don't love the
kind of confusing.
So yeah, I get it because they're all sickos and they're all sick. I like it for that, and it's a play on Six, obviously the Wyatt Sicks. I'm sure it'll grow on me. I feel like I sound like I'm just trying to find negatives in it just for the sake of it, but that's the lantern thing and that are this if there's anything to pick apart, which there barely is. It's the one little Wyatt Sicks didn't hit me.
Either way, we're calling it Wyatt Sicks.
Either way,
you know what I mean. But yeah,
so Wyatt Sicks. Are there 6 members? There was only 5 members. What does Wyatt Sicks mean? Who's the 6th member? Is there a 6th member?
Right.
So two theories, two thought process I saw was one, Bray Wyatt is the 6th member, and he was represented by the Lantern.
Sure.
And they're kind of reserving that spot as a tribute. So there's the 5 of them. Bray's the 6th.
Sure.
Which I like the idea.
I like the
that
idea
too.
because that was always when he was around and he was alive. The Wyatt Six was always a thing.
Right.
His idea. So
and he would always
be included. So
right.
that would make sense.
Which she was rumored to be a original member. She didn't show up. I forget. There's either family stuff or she's injured or something that's prevented her from returning right now. Alexa Bliss.
Oh yeah, she had a baby. Recently.
Oh, she had a baby.
Yeah, I think that's what it was.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But so then people are like, well, they're gonna do the 5 now. They didn't want to delay the presentation of this return.
Right.
Maybe Alexa gets added as the 6th member later.
Right.
So I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. People seem like they know. I'll tell you that.
People are like,
seem
we
they
know. We've read the script. We know
the segment. The segment ends after 5 seconds. No, the 6th member is this person. Okay. All
yeah.
right.
Well, so it could be either. I definitely think. I mean,
and I'd like both options
because Alexa Bliss obviously had a thing with the Fiend and all that stuff. But the only thing that makes me think Alexa isn't involved in it is because she would have been the Sister Abigail, right? That was gonna be her type of role. Nikki Cross seems to be Sister Abigail in this.
I don't know. I don't know if that's. I don't think that's Sister Abigail.
Because they have Huskus, the bird. Rambling Rabbit.
Yep.
Sister Abigail. I think those are the 4 puppets, and then Uncle Howdy. So maybe Cross isn't Sister Abigail. Those are the vibes I was getting.
Yeah.
I could be wrong. I'm not 100% sure.
She didn't give me Sister Abigail vibes, but she could be.
I kind of like the idea of Bray Wyatt being the 6th member.
I like it too. I
think I like that more. The thing is with Alexa Bliss, it's like I know she's been out for a little bit, but like for years before that, she was with Bray and was like this Sister Abigail like character, where I feel like she's gonna come back and it's like people are just gonna want to associate her with that,
for sure.
And like she's always gonna have some sort of ties with them. So that makes me think maybe they'll reintroduce her, have her involved in it somehow.
Maybe because people are saying like when she comes back, she has to acknowledge the group.
Because that's like the last time she was in there was at the Royal Rumble. We actually live streamed this, and it was Uncle Howdy. She lost, and Uncle Howdy was like calling to her, something like that.
Is that when she was on like the swing and shit, or she was doing like, wasn't she like there was like a big prop, wasn't there? Or am I thinking of something else?
No, I think that may have been something else.
Maybe a different event.
It was the night that like Bray beat LA Knight, and they had all that, but like Alexa lost, and she was like in the ring, and there was like the lights went out, and I think it was Uncle Howdy was like laughing or look it up. I think that was the last time we saw her. But yeah, it's just I'm always going to associate Alexa at this point with that type of character.
But imagine she comes back, right? And she's like, "What is this? This is I don't know these family members." And then that can be a whole thing of like, do they try to recruit her?
Right.
She's unsure. Obviously, Bray's missing, so she's gonna be like,
it's like what's their goal? Because with the Fiend and stuff, he had a theme of when he would face someone and then their character would change, or like they would go from heel to face or whatever it is. Like, are they trying to save people? Are they trying to recruit people? Like, what's their MO? What are they trying to accomplish here? I don't think Uncle Howdy's going after the World Heavyweight Championship right away.
No.
I don't think that's the end game here.
I think that'll be answered, and that's what I'm most curious about is like that first promo. Whenever we get that first Uncle Howdy with whether it's a vignette or in ring, whatever. I think I don't think maybe we won't get it as blatant first off, but I think we'll eventually get like, here's our mission statement. We're here to take over Raw. We're here to recruit people. We're here to do whatever.
And listen, you got to take it step by step. I mean, they just debuted, so it's like we can't be expecting, we can't expect to have all the answers off rip. And that's what makes it so great is that we have to wait and see.
I mean, we trusted the process so far. We got this phenomenal presentation.
Great
so
debut.
I'm gonna keep on trusting and keep on
100%.
But I'm also in the camp of like, I think maybe in the last 1 or 2 weeks we're kind of like, if it doesn't happen soon, we're gonna start kind of being off the train. But unless I'm sounding hypocritical, which I don't think I am, I feel like we haven't really hopped off the train. I think we've been pretty
locked in, brother.
You know what I mean? I think we've been pretty like allow them to do their thing.
They started the night after WrestleMania, but all they were doing was at the live shows and like during commercials.
It's not even that long of a time. If you
no,
think about
I mean
it,
it's only been 2 months.
Yeah.
So I think people just have short attention spans and stuff, and just like they need the outcome. They need like the payoff.
Well, that's why that goes to not just and make it about people, but like that's why people need an answer. Yeah. So it's like I think that's why people are jumping to like the 6 members this. Because I think not having an answer and not knowing all the facts and having stuff as a cliffhanger makes people anxious. So they're like, I need to have even if it's like a wrong answer, have it temporary and then just like, no, this is it. And then just,
it's something to hold on to until we get the answer.
Yeah.
The conspiracy theorists.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, hey, I'm locked in.
Oh, I'm so ready.
I'm so locked in. I think this is going to be great.
Let's move on to Clash at the Castle. Right. We got, I wonder who won the predictions.
I don't think it was me.
We both got a lot wrong.
That is true, but I think the points are more in your
Do you have your,
favor.
do you want to pull up your thing?
I'll pull it up.
I didn't even, we can count this live. Where am I here?
Yeah.
Let me scroll down. Sorry, everybody. Okay. I mean, first and foremost, we got Bianca and Jade wrong. That was my 5-pointer. Yeah, that's 5 points out the window. Okay. I had Sami Zayn for 1 point.
I had Chad for 2.
Okay, I got all right. 1-0 so far.
Yep.
Bayley won. I'm up to 3 points.
That's 4 for me.
Total.
Yep.
Okay.
She was my 4.
And then I got Cody Rhodes winning, so that's 4 more. So I'm at 7.
Yeah, that's 3. I'm also at 7.
Oh, and then Drew lost. Right, Damian won.
Wait, how
we tied?
No. Wait, you have 7 points?
Yeah.
I also have 7 points. I was so convinced. I didn't
I won. I thought I won, to be honest.
I was so convinced you won.
Whoa.
Let's go, baby. The summer of
Holy
Dante
shit.
continues.
There's someone on Twitter that
someone on Twitter said like it's looking like John.
I don't know. Let's see. Yeah, there's someone that keeps track of it. I'm scrolling
Count your
down
points
a
again.
bit.
Do a recount.
All right, I cut all that out, but I found the tweets, and it looks like confirmed. We tied at Clash of the Castle. You did retain the SCW Predictions Championship.
I'll take it.
Congratulations.
I'm on a run of a lifetime.
Yeah, no
right
kidding.
now. I've never had a run like this before. I'm on fire.
The SCW Predictions Summer of Dante.
All right, let's do it, baby.
So what's our? I think our next one is Forbidden Door.
End of the month. Yeah, a few weeks away.
Yeah, I think that's the next one. Okay, well.
Okay, cool.
That's crazy.
See you then.
That was.
And then we have Money in the Bank like a week after that.
Crazy. Crazy.
Defenses.
All right, we will start at the top of Clash at the Castle.
All right, let's do it.
What at the time, at least for predictions, was shocking to me, but it kind of makes sense, coming off it. Women's Tag Team Championships, Bianca and Jade versus Alba Fyre and Isla Dawn versus Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark. Alba Fyre and Isla Dawn get the dub.
Yeah, I was shocked. I just they were kind of just thrown into this championship picture a few weeks ago. I thought it was just random insertion.
Oh, oops, that wasn't actually. We'll keep going, but that wasn't the top. That was not the first match. That's
make it a little bit more interesting, a little bit more maybe unpredictable. And yeah, it was unpredictable.
I kind of love it.
They got the hometown win.
Yeah.
I think it was Alba Fyre whose mother passed away recently.
I believe, yeah.
So they were talking about that. Feel good moment. Listen, they're deserving of it. Since they've been called up, it's just kind of been they lost to Ronda Rousey and I believe Shayna Baszler, and it was just kind of why'd they lose the belts and stuff like that. They were off to a terrible start off on the main roster, but hey, they're the champs. Bianca and Jade elevated the belts a little bit.
Yeah.
I thought they'd have them for a little bit longer to continue elevating it, but again, it was a big win. I think Fyre and Dawn will have a solid reign with the belts. I was shocked, but I'm cool with it.
Yeah, my thing with it is I did expect Bianca and Jade to have a little bit longer of a run, but like you said, they elevated in the time they had. And also, in hindsight, I think they are more notable, and I think just overall better as 2 singles stars.
Yeah.
And they can still be a team and buddy, absolutely. But I think those two are just more meant to be big single stars.
I agree.
And I think that's really what they shine at. So it does kind of make sense. They're probably, they're probably moving on to something, not to diminish the tag titles as if you need to move on from them. But I think we're definitely stepped into a more singles driven from the two of them. And like you mentioned, yeah, Alba Fyre had that family tragedy, so that kind of felt. You could see it in the emotion in both of their eyes, even especially Alba, where she was just overcome with emotion, like you said, hometown in front of her family. Which I love.
Great moment.
I loved this note though, and I think it was really important for Triple H to do so in the press conference. Triple H, first thing he said, he made it clear. He said, "Congratulations to new women's tag team champs." He made it very clear. He said they did not win those titles because of that. What happened? They won the titles because they deserved it and they earned it. But he made it very clear that this wasn't just us giving them the titles
pity
to or whatever.
100%. No,
which
cool.
I thought was a really, really just important and nice moment for Triple H to mention. And it's nice that it just it both moments, the fact that they won was great, and the fact that it meant even more because of her family coming together in lieu of a tragedy.
Hey, the stars kind of aligned.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm curious where I mean, Shayna and Stark, I have no idea what they're going to do from here, but
I don't know.
Bianca and Jade. Jade's getting a lot of criticism and I don't think she's as bad as people are saying.
There was the one spot where she slipped on the ropes, right? Where she jumped. First of all, the ropes were loose the entire event.
Yeah, we'll talk about that.
Someone tweeted this at me, and there's a video after where the ref told AJ Styles, first match of the night, like after like Cody was about to come out, and he like brought him to the side, like, hey, like tugging on the ropes. Like,
really?
These are
that's
loose.
crazy.
Like, so like, be careful.
Oh wow.
Which I'm kind of confused about why they didn't just like fix it after the first match.
Because this was the second match of the night. Yeah, you'd think they would tighten them up a little.
So Jade was getting some criticism. That spot, that reason alone, like, get off for about that. Like, if the ropes were loose and stuff, it's going to happen. You know what I mean? So
I'm just curious. Like I said, I think both these two are now going to singles stuff.
Yeah.
I'm sure they'll still have each other's back. Like, I think they'll still be in each other's corner.
And then eventually they're going to have a match.
We
all know that's what the outcome's going to be and stuff. It's going to be a big WrestleMania match, which it should be. I mean, it's a tough...
Yeah, I mean,
it's a tough spot.
The rope went
you can tell.
So low.
Now knowing what you do... Oh, yeah, and there was a video of, like, her kind of, like, tapping or whatever, but, like...
This is at Clash, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did see this. So I think the story what I saw behind this is I think she kicked Shayna for real. And I think Shayna was giving her a little receipt here. And like, I think Shayna was, and this is all hearsay. So this is what I've seen this explained on Twitter. So it's a grain of salt with all this. But what I saw is that could be Shayna giving her a receipt. And maybe she was actually choking her.
She was like, hey, like,
and that's why she was genuinely just like, stop.
Yeah.
And but obviously, if you do that, it looks like even like commentary was like, did she tap? Did she,
Yeah.
So I think that was just kind of like maybe a little bit of a real moment, but also grain of salt. Who knows what actually happened? That's just kind of what I saw. But other than that, fun win. I'm excited for Fyre and Dawn. I mean, we say this every time about the women's tag titles. Now that they changed hands, maybe they're at a less popular duo. Not to their fault. I hope the division stay. We say this every time.
I have optimism.
Yeah,
it's just
me too.
It's just a known fact that those belts are the least cared for on the main roster.
Yeah, so. I mean, we saw on Rhodes. We'll talk about it later, but like the KCs like didn't even get they won their tag match. It wasn't it didn't have like a number one contender or anything, but they won the tag match, but they didn't even get an entrance, and like it was a lot of that match was given into a different. I don't know. The women's tag division is always the one that gets the short end of the stick.
Yeah, for sure.
For lack of a better term. But anyway, we'll move on. Cody Rhodes defeats AJ Styles to retain in an I Quit match.
Great match.
Fun match. This was a ball. I had a good time. One funny note is when Cody did enter, his nameplate, I think it was Women's Tag Team Champion, and then what did it say, like insert name here, or like whatever the fuck it said.
Yeah, so good.
So that was so cool. Other than that, fun match, good time. We got bloody Cody.
I wish there was more. Open. Wish there was more blood.
Hey, I'll take what I can get.
I'll take some red, but
I got some red.
I would have liked some more.
A lot of Mama Rhodes involvement. Yep. I think Mama Rhodes ended up slapping AJ.
Slapped the shit out of him.
Cody was handcuffed for a while. This is during the slap. Cody was handcuffed for a while. AJ got sent through a table. They're using trash cans. They're using kendo sticks. They're flinging out
the
stuff.
Spot where he went for the phenomenal forearm and Cody threw the chair at him and he just went through the table.
Fucking just boom.
Not a lot of
canceled them out.
People were tweeting videos. It was like that with like cartoon sounds in the background.
I did see that.
So
I did see
funny.
that.
So good.
To end the match, Cody handcuffed AJ to the ropes and he's beating him. Final moments are he's got the steel steps. He's about to bash him and AJ quits before it happens. A lot of people don't love the ending.
Come on.
I like it. It makes sense.
How is it going to end? You know what I mean? It's like, listen, like I Quit matches. It could be like you're in a submission or something like that. And it's like the person isn't letting go. Like John Cena and Randy Orton had one years ago and John Cena had him in the STF. Randy quit that way. It's like
I get the criticisms in that an I Quit match is basically a submission match.
You're telling me you wouldn't quit if you were handcuffed somewhere and someone had steel steps to bash you in the head?
I think
You're gonna die if you don't quit.
The endings of I Quit matches are tough because you have to like form a scenario
Has to
that's
be legitimate,
dangerous enough and legitimate enough looking where the opponent quits. So you do either go like a really threatening thing, but then a lot of times you don't get that, which a lot, I think back to Matt Hardy versus Jeff Hardy, where Jeff Hardy's about to swanton through the table.
He had him like tied up. And
yeah,
stuff,
and then
like,
Matt
and then
quit.
still did it.
That's the thing. So he ended up the line you toe is like, do you do the big threatening spot and have him quit and don't do it? Or what's the more entertaining thing is like what Jeff did. He quits, but you still do the scary spot.
Right.
Because the crowd wants to see that's the spot. That's the big spot.
John Cena and Batista had one years ago, and I forget how Batista quit.
Yeah, I remember that. Wasn't Batista tied up or something? I forget.
No, that was a last man. That was clever.
Oh, that was last man standing
he
match.
tied his feet and stuff like that. All right, here we go. And an I Quit match over. Oh, yeah, he was about to add to adjust him off the stage.
Oh,
like he was
yeah.
on top of something and went through, and he was going to go through the stage. He's like, I quit. And then he still did it.
So that's the thing is like you have to toe but also when it's a thing where it's like you're going to bash him, you're going to kill him with steel steps, is like there's only so much you can actually do in terms of like the I Quit threatening gimmick,
I think it was fine. I thought it was good. I really had no issue with it.
Like you said, the guy's been beaten. He's handcuffed. He's about to get his head bludgeoned in with steel steps. I think it makes sense that he quit. You know,
yeah.
I do agree.
I would quit.
I would quit too. I do agree that an I Quit match ending can be a little tough to book. So like, I understand the criticism, but it's like,
what are you gonna do?
The rest of the match, I don't think should be faulted for if you don't like that ending. At the end of the match, Kevin Owens and Randy Orton come in to save Cody from a post-match bloodline attack.
Yeah, Solo just came out and just was standing there and everything, and then
cool. I thought it was very like Randy came out and like he was in his full gear and whatever.
Oh, he was ready to go.
To have his little spot in Scotland when came all the way to help Cody. I thought it was cool. One criticism I had about the match though, and which this is classic like babyface heel like whatever. It was like 85 to 90% AJ on the offense, and it was a lot of Cody just getting beat and then being resilient and like not quitting and like having big comebacks, which like I appreciate, but this guy's the world champion that beat Roman Reigns.
Sure.
I wanted a little more dominant offense from Cody.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
So
at the same time, it's like AJ's kind of did the whole retirement angle and stuff. They want him to feel like a big threat. And everything.
It makes sense.
Yeah, I get it though. And also at the end, people were tweeting the picture. Randy had his eyes glued to that WWE championship when they were hugging at the end.
I can't wait for Randy versus Cody. I don't know when they're doing it. Maybe SummerSlam.
I mean,
no. They gotta turn Randy heel
because I think Cody solo. Probably.
Oh, you're right.
But I can see that happening at Money in the Bank.
You're right, yeah.
And then eventually, like, Solo loses because I can't imagine.
Solo wins.
I can't if Solo wins, that would be crazy.
Well, Cody Reigns doesn't need the belt.
Yeah, right? Yeah. I think that could be the entryway for Roman to return, of being like Solo can't get the job done, whatever. So that can reintroduce Roman. I mean, Cody Randy at SummerSlam would be fucking money. I don't know. Like, I agree. Like, Cody is the ultimate babyface, and like at this point in his career, Randy Orton is also like an ultimate babyface. Like, no one's gonna want to be Randy. So I think it would be more of like a respect, kind of like you were my mentor or whatever. Like we'll have a match and it'll be like out of respect.
But imagine if it's built on that. It's built on that, and then Randy fucking. Woo,
last Friday or before, like just turns
low
on
blow or something. Yeah. No, because I think in this, I think Randy's a little different because people know he's one of the greatest heels. So if he goes on one more heel run, people will, out of respect, be like, we're gonna boo the shit
honestly,
out of him.
It would feel kind of cool because like he's been back since November now, and he's been on a big babyface run. People are like, including myself, is like, you can't turn him heel now. It's like he's the old vet, everyone loves him, but like you pull that Swerve.
His best work is the heel work.
It is 100%.
It'd be be a good return to form.
It is. So hey man, I think that's a big money match no matter where it is.
You go back into like the the like he goes full like mentor mentee and just like, I'm the reason you're here. I trained you. If it
wasn't for me, you'd still be out on the indies, whatever. Yeah, no, I'm with you.
I created your legacy.
Oh, tying it back in. Yeah, legacy's got to be dropped.
Let me write the promo. Yeah, legacy is such like they're gonna drop that so
Give me
much.
a pen and paper.
Give me a pen and paper.
Yeah.
Let's get Ted Jr. back.
He's in prison. I don't know if they can get
Bail
him
him
back.
out. Bail him out.
Yeah, I mean, I think they have enough time to do it for SummerSlam. It's in a fucking stadium. It's in a huge fucking stadium, so might as well get it done.
Yeah,
there.
where's SummerSlam?
It's in Cleveland, but it's in like.
Oh, you're right. It is in Cleveland. Is it the football stadium?
It's at wherever the Browns play. I forget what it's actually called.
Brown Stadium.
Brown Stadium.
Wow. All right. We'll move on. Sami Zayn defeats Chad Gable to retain the Intercontinental title. I'll say this. Now we're getting deeper into we're getting later into the show. I will talk more about it after we go through the rest of the card, but people aren't loving this show. Post this show, people aren't loving the decisions. People aren't loving it, and this is a big reason why. Chad Gable lost. Obviously, we were saying last week, like, if not now, when? This is the moment. This is another one where I think I'm definitely in the camp of not even thinking of the story, where it's like, on paper, I think Chad Gable probably should have won. But very much in hindsight, given the Otis stuff and given the pop that Otis got that night and on Raw, we're going to get, given Chad Gable is still alive, we're going to get Otis versus Chad. That's going to be a fun feud, and then whatever. So my only thing is, like, because of the story, because it's the Alpha Academy crumbling and the Otis stuff does make sense, and Chad losing here because, like, it doesn't not make sense, but he still lost at the end of the day. I don't know.
I get it with the whole, now that Uncle Howdy, they have all this stuff going on, but, like, I just don't understand why. I don't even know. I don't even think they should have had this match. I don't think Gable and Sami should have even had another match. I agree. I think it definitely should have been like a Sami Otis thing, and then Otis loses, and you can still do the Gable berating him and all that stuff, blah, blah, blah.
I agree.
It's just because you're just feeding Gable losses. And it's like, to me, it's like, how am I supposed to, in like kayfabe story, how am I supposed to believe in someone that's lost 5 straight Intercontinental Championship matches? And like, how am I supposed to believe he's credible enough to win? He's Chad Gable. He's great. The last shot they had of him in when he was fucking boiling hot, pissed off after the match was great. And like, maybe this whole Uncle Howdy thing, that's what introduces the whole introduction of a new family, the Creed brothers.
God, Chad Gable being so intertwined with like the hard shot of him with the fucking gunshot confuses the fuck.
That confuses me now too.
I don't know
are they going to take
the fuck they're doing?
Because they have to take a break from him in the IC title picture now, because it just would make no sense if you jump back into that now. But then, like, Money in the Bank is in Montreal, and that's where Sami's from. So it's like, if you had Gable beat Sami in Montreal, that would be the ultimate heel heat. But is that too soon? Then you have it at SummerSlam, and that could still work.
And you also, like, especially coming from this show, you need a hometown feel-good moment.
Yeah, sure. You know? Yeah, right. But, like, they're saving it for something. I just don't think... Like, one, I think they should have pulled the trigger a while ago. The whole Uncle Howdy stuff confuses me. But, like, I just don't think it was the best decision for them to have another match this soon and have Gable lose again. Because then Sami at the end was like, no more. Yeah. Like, we're done.
I would argue Alpha Academy shouldn't have been involved in this. Like, I think Chad lost that last match. Alpha Academy can do their stuff without the Intercontinental Championship. Like, Sami seems like an afterthought with the Alpha Academy stuff. I would even argue, don't even have Alpha Academy involved in this match at all. Have Sami versus whoever the fuck. And, you know, whatever feud, a different feud, a different rivalry, whatever. Revisit it eventually. But if you're just going to use this as a springboard to get Otis versus Chad, which, again, I like. I love the Otis pop, but I don't like it more than Chad Gable winning the Intercontinental Championship.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's just, I don't know, man. It's like you know it's gonna happen eventually.
I'm losing hope,
but it's like
losing hope.
But like, why hasn't it happened yet? I don't know. I don't know. But
I don't know either.
It just sucks for Gable. It's just he's losing credibility. He's just losing credibility.
And I'm really not to harp on it, but now I am, because it seems like he has one of the most prominent, I guess you could say, or we've been sticking along with it with his Alpha Academy storyline on the show. Like, this Alpha Academy storyline is like pretty ingrained in the show. And now the Uncle Howdy involvement, it's are we gonna show up on Raw and he's gonna be? I don't know what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Could all that Uncle Howdy stuff been an illusion and Chad Gable's fine and
he's like, hey guys, what's going on? Whatever. It's like, what happened to you?
idea.
What do you mean? I'm good.
I'm so confused.
Yeah.
But
hey, that makes Monday Night Raw.
I mean, honestly. All right, we'll move on. Bayley defeats Piper Niven. Saw a match. I don't have too much to say about it. Chelsea Green got ejected from ringside. She later came back in a Rey Mysterio mask. She's trying to help. Chelsea Green having a ball. Love it. Saw a match.
She's awesome, man.
She's great.
I am advocating for her or Tiffany to win Money in the Bank. I want it to be one of those two, bro. I think Chelsea Green with that briefcase would be
fun.
Money. And like she hasn't had that same type of run in WWE, but man, on the indies when she was in TNA, bro, she was a fucking
I was watching
star.
I saw Lucha Underground clips.
Lucha Underground.
I was watching her versus Penta.
Yeah,
they were going crazy.
She would have sick matches when she was in the indies, and like even in NXT years ago, she was solid. I just think she's been given this like specific character, which she kills, and she's amazing at. But man, once
she just hasn't gotten that in-ring push.
Once that tide turns and we get that more push of her, whoo, she's gonna be
like the character's over the moon.
Yeah,
but like now it just needs that next half of like let her go off in ring.
Dude, she had a match in NXT a few weeks ago for the NXT Championship, and it was great. If you actually let her, because her in-ring style plays a part to her character, which is still great. But once you kind of take the leash off and let her go in the ring, man, she can go with anyone.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm hoping for now that maybe Piper lost, maybe now it's her time to step up and whatever. But this was cool overall. Cool showing for Piper. Cool to have her on this stage in Scotland.
Cool little story too she told. She went to Triple H and was like, hey, like I really want a match in my hometown, like against Bayley, whatever. Like, I'll do whatever it takes for it to happen. And Triple H goes, oh, yeah, don't worry about it. We're working on it. Don't worry about it. So it's like, she was like, oh, they already like had that in place. So that's a cool, I like how there was a lot of hometown, like people like getting matches, this event and stuff. That's cool to see.
Well, speaking of a hometown
not
boy,
all of them can win them.
Oh man, I'm curious what your thoughts on this are.
This was the one match I watched live. I tuned in. I tuned in. I caught up with the rest of it later on because I was somewhere.
This was like Saturday afternoon.
I was sleeping all day because I had a few drinks the night before. But once I woke up, I put it on, and this match was on. Damian
Priest defeats Drew McIntyre, and we'll get to everything. We'll get to everything. First of all, coming off of Sammy and Chad, another very controversial no title change. Great entrance by Drew. I mean, he got this entrance, he didn't fucking win. But this whole a Scottish orchestra played, and they played Scotland the Brave, which Roddy Piper's old theme.
That's sick.
I didn't pick up on that in the moment. I saw that after the fact, and that really cool. Sick. Again, he didn't fucking win the match for some reason. Also, quick side note, they've been doing throughout the show, they started doing a decibel meter for the crowd noise. I don't know if you noticed that.
No, I didn't notice that. That's cool.
It's fine. It's just like a little like gimmicky meter at the side, and like the crowd goes crazy.
Yeah,
and
it's it's not like so accurate. They're playing. They have someone in the back that's kind of raising it and stuff. But that's interesting.
And you mentioned the ropes were kind of funky. Damian Priest's legs got twisted up in the ropes in a very scary moment.
It looks scary.
Holy shit, that was crazy.
And I'll tell you what, he's good. The reports where he's fine. He was walking around. He sold the fuck out of it.
Yeah,
he really played into.
He was fucking upside down.
Drew was like at first was concerned. It was like trying to get him out, and I think it seemed like Damian or the ref said something like, "Oh, I'm good," and Drew was like, "All right, bet." Starts kicking him and stuff like that.
Well, I thought a lot of credit to Drew because he did end up because he was stuck.
Yeah.
So Drew did go in the ring and he freed Damian while staying in character. He was kind of like I think he kind of said like, I can't win the title like this, and then got him out, which I thought was just like, he stayed in character.
Plays into his character for sure.
You know, and it's because otherwise it wouldn't have made sense, you know, to help him. But I thought that was great. Glad Damian, I mean, that looked fucking scary.
It was. That's always a scary, with the ropes getting intertwined like that. I mean, and those ropes, they don't feel good.
No.
They don't feel good
at
all.
a lot more stiff than you would think.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
The ref gets taken out.
Classic.
You know, and this is after, you know, I'm kind of skipping over the match, but this is a fun back and forth. Yeah. Two big boys, very, very solid.
They both had really solid showing.
They did. It was a little quick. We got to this point a little quicker than I thought we were gonna, but the ref gets taken out. Drew goes for the pin. A new ref slides in wearing some minty Jordan 1s. The ref counts 1, 2, stops at 2. It is revealed that the new referee is CM Punk.
The camera work, man. The camera work.
Really good.
So good.
He kicks Drew below the belt, allows Damian Priest to get the pin and retain the title. CM Punk walks out all schmug, blah, blah, blah. So, there's a lot here. Let's talk about just the CM Punk involvement, and then we'll kind of talk about the result. CM Punk involvement, just at face value, great, makes sense,
very
plays
unique,
a ton into the story,
very creative.
We had a feeling he was going to show up. We didn't know in whatever. I didn't expect a false referee thing.
Once the ref went out, I was like, oh, here he comes.
Here we go.
Here he comes. But yeah, I wasn't expecting the whole referee thing.
So that's cool. However, should Drew have won the title in Scotland?
So this...
I don't know.
So I think we have to, I hate to say it, but we have to detach the whole Scotland part out of it. Because let's look at the story itself.
Yeah. Because that is the story that the fans are telling is that Drew is finally getting the big one and he gets it in his hometown in front of a crowd.
Right.
However, the actual story is Drew is this heel.
Yes.
He's this heel and CM Punk feud. You're right.
And you're
not wrong.
And I still am thinking about this and I'm still just like, Gunther is getting a world championship match at SummerSlam. If Drew won in Scotland, what would have happened at SummerSlam? Because I still think now that Damian retained, there is no chance that he's beating Gunther. I think if that's what the match ends up being, we'll get to that when we get to that. We still have a little ways away. But it's just, I think CM Punk and Drew McIntyre is going to be the feud of the summer. I think they said that he's gonna be on SmackDown tomorrow.
Yeah,
he skipped to Raw this week. It's in Chicago. He's gonna talk about like the news and stuff of his injury. What I read online was that he's the timeline, and you know, some people heal faster. You know, some people just come back sooner than expected. His timeline was expected to be about a week before SummerSlam. Drew McIntyre, CM Punk is just a SummerSlam match.
It's perfect.
It's perfect. Yeah. I think this feud doesn't need a belt. Would it be better with the belt? Sure. I'm not going to disagree with that. I'm not going to argue with you on that.
I think I see the problem with the belt is that like if you involve the belt, I think Punk needs to win. I think it's too early to give Punk a world title.
This feud is just built on pure hatred, not championship.
Yeah, that's true too.
Although the championship has been tied in, like CM Punk has cost Drew McIntyre the belt twice. So like the belt has played a role in this. I don't think we need to have a world championship match between the two yet. I think we can hold off on that, and for the time being, just have these guys do like a best of 3 this summer.
Sure.
SummerSlam, whatever pay-per-view at Berlin. They're talking about bringing back Bad Blood, the pay-per-view. Do a Hell in a Cell match as like the final match for the
3 stages of hell or something.
Sure. Like I think you can have this feud 1,000% without the belt. You could have it with the belt, but I don't think it's necessary in this case, especially if Gunther's involved in the world championship picture. Damian Priest. Seth is back now, which we will.
I'll interject now. You're talking Gunther still got his title. it's official: Damian Priest versus Seth Rollins at Money in the Bank.
So that might change some things up a little bit. We'll obviously talk about Money in the Bank another time, but I think it's like Gunther's walking out of SummerSlam the World Heavyweight Champion. That's what I am, as of this moment right now, that's what I'm convinced of. So it's like you need to have all these guys get away from the World Championship picture because they're not beating him. He's not going to have the belt for just a few months. That's why I'm so there's so much going on. There's so much going on, and they're all somehow intertwined, but at the same time, they're not. I don't know. It's weird.
I love and I want Gunther to get the world title.
I'm actually pissed Gunther is getting a championship match.
It muddies some stuff up.
Because it makes everything so much more confusing. Yeah. I like the idea King of the Ring gets a title match. I like that. I like that too. And I'm happy Gunther won King of the Ring because I don't think there was anyone else that deserved it more, that it would work better with than Gunther. Yeah. But it does make things muddy. It does really does.
It does feel like a little unnecessary. Like they didn't need to.
It seems forced, kind of.
Yeah.
They maybe forced isn't the word, but
I get what you're saying. King of the Ring, he could have just been King of the Ring, and that's the accolade.
Exactly.
It didn't need to have the addition of the title match.
They're kind of rushing the title match a little bit, maybe. Like, I think they could hold out on a World Heavyweight Gunther title. I think they could have saved it for WrestleMania next year.
He just dropped the IC title.
Give him some time with that belt.
And when he gets... Because my thing is, when he gets the World Heavyweight Championship, he's not dropping it for a while.
Exactly.
Because on the other side... Cody's got the other world title, and he's not dropping it for a while.
100%.
What I liked about this World Heavyweight Championship, and especially it was after Seth lost it and had a great run, and it was a long run, Damian got it, is I was like, oh, cool, we're going to get some other world champions.
Exactly.
But if we're jumping straight to Gunther, we're going to miss out on a lot of these guys getting world title opportunities.
And then it's like Gunther wins it. When the fuck is Drew gonna actually have a reign with it? Because he needs to have a 6-month reign at least with the belt. You know what I mean? It's hey, listen.
And I think
trust the process, I guess. But man, there's a lot of stuff going on.
I liked what I said last week, and maybe this is me being too connected to my fantasy book in here. But I like the idea of Drew winning in Scotland. He goes on to face Gunther at SummerSlam. He beats Gunther at SummerSlam.
That's more believable. That's why I'm saying if he goes up against a Damian Priest, there is no single part of my brain that pictures Damian pinning, whether there's interference or not.
Oh, have 5 more members of Judgment Day, and Gunther still should win.
Yeah, exactly. And I do like Damian beating Drew. I think is good for Damian's character.
Absolutely.
That's a big legitimate
it helps his title run.
That's
for
a
sure.
big legitimate win for Damian Priest. So it seemed like after the match they talked a little bit like on the mat, like he like rolled over and it seemed like they were having a few words. Definitely a sign of respect. Definitely like thank you for like letting me have this like in your home country. Like that's crazy. Yeah. I mean, I'm not too upset with the result. I did pick Drew winning, but that was my least confidence. That was my 1-pointer.
Yeah.
I wanted Drew to win. I think it would have been a cool moment, but I'm not shocked that that was the end result. Damian Priest walking out.
I'm not shocked in hindsight. I think in the moment I was which I am still a little bit in the camp of, which I know it's not the story, and like we just said it, but like at the end of the day, how often are they going to Scotland?
Every 2 years. That seems like no. The last time it was there was in 2022. So hey, maybe it
even
becomes
still
a thing.
2 years is a long time.
It is.
Even still, how often are they? Or I should say, they're not in Scotland too often. And then how often are the stars going to align where you got Drew McIntyre in a world title match that makes sense? I do think, I think he should have won. I think. This is going all the way back to to bring it all the way back around conversation wise. I think Drew should have. I think you could have done that. You could have gotten the same, not the same exact Punk interference, but you could have gotten a similar effect of a Punk interference.
And Drew gets the best of him.
And Drew gets the best of him, and now it's 1-1 or whatever. Again, I do like the story that Punk keeps on getting it over Drew, but given the circumstances, with it being in Scotland and everything, I think Drew should have won, and you still could have built some Punk stuff. And then, because having the belt, I agree with you that having the belt, they don't need the belt, but the addition of a belt doesn't make it worse.
No,
you know,
yeah,
so
yeah,
it's
it only
like
adds to it.
Right.
I think I said this last week. It's like CM Punk getting the upper hand on him again. Like Drew's supposed to be the smart heel.
Yeah.
He sees it coming, whatever. And I'm like, damn, if Punk screws him again, it kind of makes him look stupid. But I think the way that they did it,
they did it in a good way.
Was
I agree
a
with you.
good enough way where it kind of protects Drew from looking
I agree.
stupid. It's just kind of like, what the fuck? Like, who expected CM Punk to come out faking being a ref and stuff like that? So I think it played off well. Drew McIntyre, well, I mean, we'll get into it, whether it's here or the Patreon, of what Drew did next. But I think it's all gonna,
it'll be here.
It'll all work out. It's just there's just a lot of shit going on right now.
Well, so that'll be maybe the last. We're kind of getting towards the end of the show, but we talked about Seth and Drew. So quickly to go over that so that's Clash Casual, but bada bing, bada boom, Raw.
Bada bing, bada boom.
Seth Rollins returns. Cool moment, huge pop, great, bada bing, bada boom.
Unexpected.
Damian Priest comes in, he says, which a little doesn't help Drew's case at all, but he goes, I wanted to cash in on you, Seth. You were the world champion, I want to cash in on you. So he challenges him to a world title match at Money in the Bank. Seth Rollins accepts.
Hey, fighting champion.
I like that
from Damian Priest.
But so Seth early, whatever you want to call it, or early predictions, whatever. And you were talking about Gunther. Like, is it a better idea for? Which I'm thinking about in my head. I don't love this, but like, should Seth now get his title back, beat Damian, and then it's Seth versus Gunther?
I think Seth versus Gunther is a little bit more. Okay, this could go either way. It's more a little like, okay, maybe Seth can't. I mean, he's the more experienced in a sense. He's the WWE vet.
I think Seth beating Gunther's
I
fine.
can see that. That's fine. And like if Damian Priest faced Gunther, like no shot. I think Gunther's walking out. I just don't know.
I just don't like the idea of like Seth comes back and he just gets the title back.
Beats him and then loses. Like whether wins or loses the next. Yeah, I'm not a fan of that. I genuinely think, hey, I mean, if Damian Priest is going to lose to Gunther at SummerSlam, you got to give him some solid title defenses against Drew and Seth leading up to it. So you're trying to make him as believable as possible, which I respect. I do think Damian should 100% win this match.
I think so too. Yeah,
maybe there's Judgment Day involvement, maybe not.
Whatever.
But you know,
I just don't love the fact of like it's not hot potatoing, but it is like, oh, Seth just has a title. Seth just got it back. Right. I think there's different ways to go.
The last thing this fucking title picture needs is another guy being introduced. There's just so many guys going after it already.
But one of the last topics we're gonna touch on, a lot of stuff is gonna get pushed to the Patreon, patreon.com/Stache Club Wrestling.
Come on now.
But we're making sure we're getting the biggest notes in the main show. Drew McIntyre. He's got a little promo time. He's in the ring. He looks distraught. Can't blame him.
Yeah, he looks lost out there.
Screw this company. I can't do this anymore. I quit.
That's all I need to say.
Wow.
Delivered.
Walks
That's all you gotta
out.
say.
Runs into Adam Pearce and Triple H backstage. They try to talk some sense to him. He just kind of goes right by him. Isn't listening. Drew McIntyre quits WWE. And again, SmackDown tomorrow night is in Chicago. CM Punk is advertised. I mean, we're gonna CM Punk. We're gonna be talking about CM Punk say, "Oh, you quit." He's gonna bring him up. Does Drew McIntyre show up on SmackDown, similar to Jey Uso quitting and then showing up almost the next night on the different show?
I really think that the storyline needs Drew to be gone for a little bit. Give him a few weeks, even a month off,
because CM Punk can be on the mic and progress this for sure.
Let's say CM Punk does say, "Hey, I'm cleared," and guess what? I want to be in that Money in the Bank match. How fucking cool would it be for Drew to return at Money in the Bank, costing CM Punk the match?
I like that.
Giving him a little taste of his own medicine.
And that's even just a cool thing of like, having Punk back in a Money in the Bank match is even just a callback to like his early career. Yeah. Just like being in these.
100%.
That's sick. I like that.
He could be a 3-time Money in the Bank winner. That could be the tagline right there.
God, I hope his body is his body can do it.
Now, my main concern is that a 40-year-old CM Punk is going to be in a Money in the Bank match.
Fuck it.
But I do think you need to have Drew McIntyre give CM Punk a taste of his own medicine. I think Money in the Bank is a few weeks away. I think it's long enough. I mean, it would be cool if you kind of held off Drew a little bit longer, but I think it's good enough where like you can do it there. And then SummerSlam's a month away. You have a month build. Be like that if CM Punk is cleared, that's the SummerSlam match. Drew and CM Punk, 1,000%. So, I mean, it just plays into who's healthy, who's not. I guess that's gonna
who's employed,
who's not. But yeah, it's gonna happen eventually, and that's gonna be a kick-ass match. So, but yeah, I think
I didn't even think of the they
just came to my mind. Yeah. Just came to my mind.
They are doing Money in the Bank qualifying matches. So yeah, you could say I mean,
there's only 6 people per match, and like I get it, but I miss the days when there was like 8 people in a match. The more the merrier, in my opinion.
Yeah,
6 is a fine number, but
eight kind of adds to that chaos,
and just adds two more credible guys that could potentially win.
I honestly didn't even realize until you mentioned it they decreased the number.
Yeah. Huh. I think they made it 6 a few years ago, but then they have years they had 7.
Right.
Like just it's never been consistent, I don't think. But it used to always be 8 when we were kids and stuff. They had that one where it was like 10, which was a little. That was a little.
10's much.
Now we're pushing it, but
that's crazy.
Yeah, I mean. They'll still be good though.
Last one I want to touch on before we dive into the Patreon, just get some AEW in here. Where do we want to go? Some Will Ospreay stuff.
Bro, he was spitting last night. He was spitting, bruv.
My favorite line. He's him and Swerve have a face to face. They're going at each other, this and that. He goes, while you had a hit row, I had a hit list.
And what do you say? He like checked off all of them or something like that, or he beat all of them or something like that right after.
Oh, maybe, I don't know.
He said something along the lines. He's like, you had a hit row at a hit list, and I checked off all of them.
Oh, he did say
something
so. You're right.
Like
that.
I don't know if it was checked off, but it was something along those lines.
That I can't fucking wait for this.
And then Will Ospreay was doing this whole thing about I don't need Don Callis, I don't need a family, blah blah blah. And then they showed backstage Don Callis, Trent, I believe, walked out, and then Kyle Fletcher stayed. So now I'm in the camp. I'm starting to believe that Will Ospreay is going to lose at Forbidden Door because Don Callis might cost him, which I actually think
I like
is
that.
a good way. Like,
it's a good way to have
Swerve
Will lose.
Beating him just straight up would be awesome, but I think in this case, like, you have this story, which I don't.
And Will's so new.
Will is so new, and like he should have been out of this family like the moment he actually like became
I
a
honestly
full-time.
keep forgetting he's a part of it.
He's the ultimate face right now, and the Don Callis, like the biggest heel. Everyone hates him, so it doesn't really make sense anymore.
And they're not even really playing into that either.
He doesn't show up with them. He doesn't like support any of them, like ringside for their matches. So I think this is a good way to have Will lose the match and kind of get that story going, and then have that be a thing for a little bit to kind of take him away from the AEW World Championship picture.
Yeah.
But it definitely seems like there's going to be some sort of shenanigans there.
And then, speaking of the International Championship, you also got our fucking guy, Daniel Garcia, climbing up the ranks.
Yeah.
He's been like quietly getting some dominant wins. And I think this is like a few weeks ago backstage, he was like, I want Will Ospreay. I want the International Championship, which I like. That's why I like the idea of what you're saying of like, do the Don Callis stuff, have an excuse for Will Ospreay to lose this match, get away from the AEW Championship for a little bit, because you have the International Championship to defend.
We don't need this title to become an afterthought.
Exactly.
That's the last thing.
Don't make it an afterthought, because you have guys like Daniel Garcia that want it. So you can. Will Ospreay is in a great opportunity, in a great position with this International Championship to start elevating some guys.
Yeah.
And Daniel Garcia is that fucking guy.
Yeah, for sure.
So I'm excited for that. And then to round out this Will Ospreay stuff at the end of the night, big brawl. So, this person's coming to save this person. This person's coming to save this person. MJF comes in, saves everyone. Who comes out? Will fucking Ospreay comes out. We get an MJF Will Ospreay little face, just a quick little face to face.
I love the back bumping into each other and they turn around and go to hit each other.
Yeah.
It's like, wait a minute.
Very classic Looney Tunes.
Yeah.
But I mean that's like that's gonna be held off for.
I think that could be an all-in match, personally.
Sure, yeah.
Why not have that be the all-in match? Because I mean, when are you going to reintroduce MJF into the World Championship picture? You could have him and Swerve do a program and stuff like that, but then at the same time, like, I don't know if you want MJF losing right away. I don't know. You can tie MJF in a few different ways here. All I know at the end of the day is as long as Swerve can hold on to that belt for as long as he can, fuck it. Like, do whatever you got to do.
Yeah, for sure. I Give me 3 more classics with Swerve, and then you can take it off him. But like, I need it to go on.
Yeah, no, I'm with you.
When is All In?
August.
Okay. Oh, so it is coming up. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
I think it's like late August, like August 20 something. I'm gonna say August 25th. I have no clue. I'm just saying that right now. If I'm right, I'll be happy.
I was looking up something else. I was looking at the Forbidden Door card. See what's announced.
A bunch of matches got announced last night.
We got Bryan Danielson versus Tagagi. I think I pronounced that wrong.
Dragon versus Dragon.
Where do you see it? Oh, yeah. What is it? Dragon. What is it? Where is it?
The last match. Daniel Bryan. No, it's like they both go by the Dragon.
Oh, I'm sorry. I got confused. MJF versus. Oh, I'm going to get all these. I'm not even going to pronounce any of these. We got Jeff Cobb match is going to happen.
Yeah.
Moxley versus Nato. Oh, Zack Sabre Jr. versus. I'm so excited for that. Yeah, cool. Looks like it's gonna be a good show. I'm excited. Oh, the ladder match for the TNT title. That's gonna be fun.
One more person needs to be added to that match.
Yeah, it's gonna be sick. Sick card. When is it again? June 30th. June 30th. Wow.
Yeah, close.
Oh yeah, and then All In is the one after that, and that is August 25th. Is that what you said? Hell yeah.
I did. That's crazy. That was just a fucking
fun summer. Fun summer coming up. We got, huh?
Didn't they have? Wait, did they have matches? What?
Swerve or Rill. Oh, yes, the Men's Owen Hart Cup winner. Yeah.
Or Will. I was like, versus Will. Yeah, that makes sense.
And it's the winner, the woman's.
Interesting. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, when's the final for that going to be?
Oh,
June 10th?
Oh, sorry.
Oh, no. Yeah. No, it says June 10th, 2020. Just on an episode
July
of Dynamite. July 10th, excuse me.
Let's look at let's look at where the brackets stand right now. 2023, 2024 women's. All right, we got Chris Statlander defeated Nyla Rose to advance to the semifinals. Excuse me. And then Pac defeated Claudio Castagnoli. So let's look at, all right, on the women's, we got Willow Nightingale, Serena Deeb, Chris Statlander, Nyla Rose, Deonna Purrazzo, Hikaru Shida, Mariah May, Saraya.
Yeah, early predictions. Willow definitely is going to win the first match because her and Chris have a thing going.
Yeah, for sure.
I personally think Mariah May is going to win the whole thing because they're really setting up a Mariah May.
Oh, and then that's perfect.
The all-in match right there.
Perfect. The fight, and the finals going to be on an episode of Dynamite. That's
big time.
Perfect. Okay.
And then men's,
we got Claudio, Pac, Bryan Danielson, Tagagi. This match is going to be. Got it. Ray Fenix, Jay White, Jeff Jarrett, and TBA.
Yeah, they said that's a wild card, so it's like they're not going to reveal it until. So Jay White and Ray Fenix is next week. That's on Dynamite next week, I believe. I'd
probably to win the whole thing. I'd probably go to pay. Not paying attention to who the TBA is. I'm looking at Danielson.
Swerve at All In would be fire.
Yeah.
That would be a fire match.
Unless this TBA is someone crazy.
About classic defenses and stuff like that. 5-star, like Swerve beating Danielson. Like, or Danielson can get it.
Danielson's never won the AEW championship.
I don't know if he wants to win the world championship.
Yeah, hasn't he said something right? Yeah, fuck it. Fucking who cares what he says?
Yeah,
give him the title.
Him. Yeah, no, he's not writing the show. He's not writing the show.
You're going to get the world title and you're going to like it.
Yeah, I mean, I think
he should get it.
Would I love Swerve? I mean, fuck, if Swerve beat him, that would be a moment.
That'd be great too. That'd be awesome too.
At the same time, I think if there's anyone that's justified to can do it, can end the reign where it's at, Danielson is definitely a good
of that
choice.
List for sure. Yeah, no, I agree with you.
Any of those guys, I think Swerve should beat them 100%.
Pac would be a sick match.
Pac would be cool.
I'm curious who this TBA is going to be.
Hey, maybe maybe Will Ospreay throws himself back in there, or MJF or something like that. I don't know.
Joe Hendry.
Imagine
he's going to WWE and AEW. Yeah.
Have him headline All In, show up on the main roster.
God, if he showed up in AEW, they would never talk to him again. They would be so
yeah,
pissed.
you're cut off.
All right, that is the main episode. We're heading over to the after party. Patreon.com/Stache Club Wrestling. We're gonna chat. We're going to talk a lot more of what happened on Raw. We're going to talk about the Money in the Bank qualifying matches.
Yes.
And we're just going to talk about some other stuff. We're going to talk about the Celtics. We're going to talk about the Ken and Friends concert last night. A little indie show.
Black Hippie.
Hippie reunion. Hey, I don't want to get too excited for the after party. All right. Thank you for listening. We appreciate it. Make sure to subscribe. Leave your likes. Leave your comments. We appreciate it. Again, head over to Patreon for the after party. And we'll see you in the next one. Goodbye. And thanks for joining.
Thank you for joining. As always, peace.